Happened there? Okay. We had a pause. Right. We're good to go. Hi guys. Sam here. Whew, what a glorious day we have. Sun shining outside and I'm sitting inside doing this channeling, which I came back from the park today. And I just wanted to mention that I had to do a clearing on my house last night. It was getting very heavy feeling in here. So it was kind of nice to go and do the native Aboriginal walk around the park that's close by my house. So I just wanted to say that, I'm going to be taking some of these videos that I'm doing, and I'm going to be actually taking kind of a different approach. Hi, Jazz. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being here. You're very well. But I've actually been, like I have another video I haven't uploaded yet in regards to what's going to be happening with my channel. I've got some new things, new ideas that I'm going to kind of toss out there and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, or email me, what you're kind of looking for. But anyways, I still have my basic follow through plan for when I do my videos. But at the same point, I am thinking about adding a few different things, like a few different elements, to be able to make my channel grow very well. And I'm not too sure if you guys, how many people actually saw this the last few days of recordings. I don't know, Jess, if you got that message for you from towards the very end of yesterday's reading time that I did. I answered your question for you. I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at it or not. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. I did the last, I believe it was about 4 or 5 minutes in regards to your missing brother. But not, all in a nutshell, I don't think he's like missing that anything bad has happened to him. I wasn't getting that. I was getting more of being in a controlled situation with a female person. Um, but you check it out. Let me know what you think. It's at the end of last night's video, yesterday's video. the call-in show for yesterday. We had a lot of people show up again. It was great. I actually enjoyed that. I was able to get some different free readings. I think I'm going to stick to doing 3-minute reads from now on. I'm not looking to, go very much further into readings. We'll just skim the surface because some of them they might be a little more personal, and I was kind of thinking about that yesterday. I don't want to have people's too much of their personal ideas coming through if they don't wish for them to be put out there, right? So I'm going to stick to the 3-minute basic read. So it'll be time for like 3 minutes. I will give you what information I can without going too deep into a conversation because I'm not too sure if that's really a situation that is fair for anybody to have to go through. I don't want to develop or dive deep into somebody's situation without their permission 100%. So I had to rethink that one and stick it to 3-minute reads. So the other thing is I'm going to start offering, to help the channel, I'm going to offer a weekly draw of a free 30-minute read with me. So everybody that's commented or liked or shared the video that's been in a live stream will get entry into that weekly stream. Ones that actually have commented or shared the video or liked the video with putting a comment will be put in on the monthly. So that's for the Dreamcatcher at the end of the month. The weekly one is for a free 30-minute reading with me, anything goes kind of thing. So those are just some ideas that I've kind of picked up along the way that I'm willing to honor. As my name is Chase, which means the honorable one, so I'm going to keep it very simple for you guys. So yesterday was a very good read. Yesterday we had some new subscribers that came through, and they did an awesome job. We hit the nail on the head as per usual. You know how I do it. I get it real and I get it done. So with that note, okay, so you feel good about that. Thanks, Jess, for getting back to me and commenting on that in the live chat. I really appreciate it. I think I need to start getting a moderator for my channel. I haven't made that move yet because I'm not. I think I can handle the chats for right now. It's when they start getting a little busier that I'm going to probably need a moderator. And the other thing is, I had a dream yesterday. Okay, now I don't know if this is pertaining to anyone, um, but it felt like there was a lot of, once I woke up from it, I had to write it down right away, which I left my book in the bedroom. But I had a really bizarre dream about meeting one of you, like actually transcending through dream state and actually meeting up with one of you. I don't know which one it would have been, because I don't know anything about your names. I've experienced this before with my son, whereas he was doing DMT to see what it was like. And I said, if you're going to do DMT, then expect me to be around to watch over you so that nothing happens, medicine-wise. So the next thing was, I experienced a person that was going through a troublesome time, and you were running for me to ask me a question, but I'm not too sure if it's maybe a new subscriber that's wanting to come through. Like I said, I do get energy crossing over while I'm in dream state or when I'm sleeping. I don't mind it. I'm kind of used to it, but at the same point, it was something that somebody was going through a very hard time with. They were having some difficulties within a relationship. I don't know what the relationship was about because I couldn't understand it right at that time, but I do believe that it's a family crisis situation, so that it's over like how would you say, like not like a rivalry feud, but definite family feud that they needed a moderator for. So maybe that was just a sign that I need to have a moderator in my YouTube channel because I didn't recognize anything about them that would say that it's somebody that I do know. So it's somebody either I'm passing on my journey or I'm going to be encountering in the next little while. My dreams, speak volumes. I've had, like I said, experiences within my dream of being choked by spirits and telling me, some of them want you to stay, some of them want you to go, but it wasn't a friendly one when I did get choked and I came out. My throat was sore, I was dry, couldn't talk, and I was vibrating. I couldn't sleep in my room for 2 months after that. After I cleansed my room and put salt in my windowsills, blessed my house numerous times, only then did I start feeling a little bit of relief from it. I've had experiences where there has been an energy and it didn't like the fact. Oh, hang on 1 second. Um, I actually had an incident where he was. I should get that picture for you guys and show it to you. I'm going to upload it. But there is that one, and it was a male person standing behind me, and you can see his outline of his goatee standing right over my shoulder. You know, I do have people that walk with me and guardians and stuff like that, so that was just proof that it is, right? The other thing is, I wanted to talk a bit about shamanic astral projection. Okay, when I started doing meditation, like I've said in another video, if there's somebody that wants a reading, feel free to say so. 1 second here, this is just show up. Okay, I have somebody on their way here. So if they happen to phone back again, I'm gonna have to take that call. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to answer it because I know that they're supposed to be here. So, anyways, 1 second, please. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. A slight interruption by my partner, but that's okay. He's all right. So the one thing I want to say is, when I started doing meditation, it actually opened up a lot of weird things from the minute I woke up from my first meditation that I was doing. The first one I did, and like if you want to have me blogging about maybe some routes that you can take to awaken your spirit and your gifts, I'd be happy to do that, right? On that note, I'll give you the steps of what I went through. I started with meditation, and I worked from there. I was doing a meditation for stress, right? It was meditation for stress, and I went through almost like my. Okay, so we're gonna turn the volume down. I have my tablet down here so I can read your guys' comments this time because I wasn't being able to on the other one. But the one that I started with, and I was actually deciding to just deal with a lot of, I was going through a very stressful period at that time, and I chose a video. It's called Beginner's Meditation by Jason Stevenson. I love the guy. He's got fabulous work for when you want to do meditation, and a lot of it is very effective. I've been able to break through a major breakthrough about 6 months after I started doing meditation. I was too scared to actually come out and be, with my gifts, because I have had them since I was about 13, 14. They started to really show. And going through the traumas of it. But anyways, back to the meditation. I always start with a meditation. Like, this is my astral projection music that I use for when I want to go and do astral projection. Bing G, hi, how's it going? I'm doing great. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Welcome. We're just going to talk a bit about some meditation skills for you guys to maybe be able to deal with some of these situations that you're facing that you might be stressed out about or whatever it may be. Jason Stevenson, I'm going to give him a shout out because I have used his meditation. I am going to be doing more of my own. I have a friend that has a recording studio to be able to do this and get like some binaural beats done for the sake of my channel, and possibly some meditation that we can do. So that's just a start. The other thing I think I'm going to do is just do like a midday kind of read for like 3 minutes. I'm not going to get into too many deep ones, so that everybody can have a chance to have a bit of a reading done for them, right? The other thing is, I think that's about it. I'm recommending, like I said, check out Jason Stevenson on YouTube. He has some fabulous stuff. Or look into, you can do native, are very well with the flutes and everything are very effective. I basically stick to Jason Stevenson and native spiritual music, like meditation. This one that's playing now is the one that I use for when I want to go and astral project myself. My last experience with my astral projection was I was an eagle, and I was soaring down into the what do you call into the rugged terrain. And I was flying in, and I went over this big pond, and I had seen the pond from like miles and miles away, and I was at an elevated state, and I was up flying in the air, and then I just saw this pond that was in the middle of nowhere in this bush, and I swooped down into it, and I went over top of it, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I went over top of it, there was like it almost looked like it was a drain, like it was a spiral, and I went through it, and I ended up coming into a more glorious garden. You can go through all these different portals. It's an amazing thing to be able to astral project and live in exactly your astral projection within your own earth, which is the most amazing part, but you never have to worry about. Be careful when you start it though. Be sure that you're starting with the beginner's meditation. Where I'm at in my levels of meditation, I can do prana breathing, which is very shallow breathing, where I'm basically taking maybe 20 breaths at one time. So it was an amazing journey, and it didn't last very long because I had always told myself that you can always program yourself before you start your meditation to place it in your subconscious that if you feel that you're getting too far in, or you are starting to lose at the actual thing, starts to make you uneasy, or anything that you've tethered out of your body, always make sure you tether and you tell your subconscious that I do not want to be untethered or anything to happen on that note. Your subconscious has a lot to do with your meditations and everything. But just make it so that your subconscious is aware that you want to be aware, that you'd be able to open your eyes at any given time and tell yourself that before you go into an astral projection, that you can return to your body and that you'll open your eyes right away. If you get too uneasy with it, because some of them can get pretty intense. I know I've experienced some intense ones and I panic. Um, but I don't panic because I always tether myself. I always make sure that I am able to re-enter my body, right? My spirit can still enter back. And it's almost like a little tethering, an invisible cord, and it really does work. But you have to program your subconscious to make sure that it's aware that you're doing this. Otherwise, you can actually get trapped outside your body. So I've heard. I haven't actually met anybody that's actually done that, where they have actually had that experience of being caught outside the body. I know it's kind of a shocker for people when they do it, is that they see themselves lying on the bed motionless. So it can freak you out at first. So just a heads up that you do actually have something that makes you, I don't know what part of your brain actually makes you want to look backwards. It could be a sign relating to maybe things, you need to look back at some things and be aware of the situation at times. It can be a sign of that you're doing things not the right way, or there's a reason that this astral projection can actually show you some of the inner, what do they call it, interturmoiling, defective effects that you're having currently in your situation. So you can get a lot of information from astral projecting. I take note of my surroundings when I astral project. I enjoy looking at everything that's beyond me. I'm not there to learn any lessons. I want to be able to advance myself to a higher state of consciousness, or to be able to bring my third eye chakra all the way to the crown. It's basically, but I did it randomly. I didn't start right at the root chakra and work my way up. I went and jumped in with full feet and bam, opened up the third eye first. So, but it was an experience when you aren't ready for what you see. If you do open your third eye, things will get very strange, almost like you're living in a double dimensional world, that things are not what they seem. Like there's almost like a dark energy that surrounds it, which I learned to deal with before I went into it. And a lot of it has to do with unresolved situations that your subconscious has been holding on to for years. The other thing is when you astral project, you may happen to meet people. It's almost like you're in a dream state. You actually might end up meeting people if that's something that you need to focus on and have more of a connection with people. Maybe that's lacking in your so you can get back to me and ask me what would this mean if this happened and this happened or that happened, and I'd be able to do an interpretation for you. By all means, I'll do my best to ask Spirit to give me the interpretation that you're supposed to receive from that. So I've learned how to read, but always be aware of what's going on around you, because you might miss a cue. It's like you can't even notice it on a regular experience like through meditation, but it's like certain little cues it'll give you to what you need to work on your spirit, so that we can become a whole as one being, right? So you have your energy that, like it said in native culture, if we end up drinking alcohol or we end up taking things that aren't best for our spirit will leave our body, and that's why you get that empty or that just all over the place. That's why they say they're going Indian. It's because it's not meant for us. That spirit, alcohol, was not meant for us, for our spiritual part. Um, okay, I'm just checking your comment here, Vinny. I read a book as a child. A scary story. What a child who tried to spend time. I remember him spending too much time inside his room. Yeah, that can happen. That's what was going to touch base on, is that people can actually die from this. So be very cautious when you're taking on that opportunity. Always have, if you're going to do it, set a time frame for yourself. And if you have some support around you, like for me, I didn't ask for any support. I had to go and trudge it alone because I've always been on my own. I've always done everything by myself. But if you have an opportunity to go to a quiet spot, it's not a problem. But if you have like a friend or something that would be willing to sit with you through this, because you can actually speak through your astral projection and it'll come out as a message as well. I've done that. I don't know how many other people can do that, but I've been able to actually communicate when I'm in, and it doesn't affect me. I don't know why. It's because I guess I put it subconsciously beforehand. But if you have somebody that can sit and support with you, like sit and hang with you while you do even a 15-minute, I always start out with a short one. Never do an extended long one at first. Do a small one, like even a couple minutes, and just build yourself up to the longer ones, is what I would recommend. As far as your third eye, definitely be cautious of opening your third eye and not being able to disassociate from that realm. Okay, because the realms actually start coming together when you have your third eye open. At least for me, they did. Um, so I basically will do short astral projections to start with. If you want to do longer ones, make sure that you have somebody that is willing to sit with you, or go and sit with somebody that has experience with the longer ones, like myself, and at least they can monitor you when you're doing your longer ones. My partner always checks on me, like even when I'm having a bath or anything, I can actually sit and astral project from the bathtub. So I always recommend that you make sure that you try just doing a short one at first, to get your body used to it, so you're not in shock and you end up being able to be pulled back in right away. But don't fear when you end up looking around and you see that you're outside your body. Just remember that you've already preset this, that you have people on the outside for you to be able to take a short one, and always remind yourself in an astral projection that you're just there for a short period. Never try to overstay your position or your timeline. It can be very dangerous. So just some words of advice. Uh, I think the Hellfire is was geared towards children. I think it's because as far as being geared towards children, it's because I think that we are, like, I even used to do that when I was younger, was I would not be in my body. Like, I was not in the body, I was floating around and being in different places at the same time. So it's kind of like, even just like dreams for me can turn into astral projections. They're just projecting what you need to be focusing on. You're projecting yourself through your subconscious, um, but you're outside the body to get like the actual feeling of the astral projection part that you're projecting and need to solve, or maybe sitting as residual energy within you. Um, but yeah, so it's good for learning, like when you want to go into more of the healing end of things. I didn't start using that until I started to do all my healing that I need to see from outside the box, more or less. It can be very, very enlightening. I'm like addicted to astral projection. No word of a lie. I love it. Whenever I'm feeling kind of off balance or something, I'll meditate and ask, my guides, which he also has videos on that, how to connect with your spirit guides, how to understand it better. My spirit guides, they're with me 24/7. I live with them, and they tell you don't take your house spirits with you when you go anywhere. My house spirits always want to take along. I even will send my energies and my spirits ahead of me to get a feel for the place that I'm going to do reading for. And if they return too fast, I won't. If they return fast, I should say, if they're fast to return to me, then I won't go into the reading. It's not the right time. And that's what I use my energies, my dark forces for, is to go and feel out the area first and to kind of set up shop as you, for the moment. They don't set up shop permanently. They just go and make sure that the energy levels are, and there's not too much interference from dark energy, because I don't like going into somewhere that's unfamiliar to me and having attachments. Those attachments put me under, like, in my bed for almost 2.5, well, a month and a half. I was literally bedridden. I didn't want to leave my bed. That was due to a clearing that I did for a girl in the States, and she was having this young girl show up in her pictures, and she would take pictures. There would be a dark shadow girl wearing a dress. So I did the clearing for her, but the attachments that were involved in that house, it was actually a house that I had some fire downstairs in the basement in one of those old stoves that the little girl used to go and hang out at. And she lost her parents. She'd always ask, "Where's my mom? Where's my dad?" So she got almost separated due to the fire in the air that was from a house that was built there beforehand. And she had been roaming around there for the longest time. But she ended up getting, we ended up calling down an angel to help assist her because she was so young. She wasn't aware of where she was. She thought that she was still living in her house and that her parents had gone to work. So it was a clearing that I will never ever forget. The little girl's face that had come through, and it was a very nice. She was an African American and the sweetest little girl, but she was so grateful that she looked back to me and waved, and then she went basically into like smoke. She just vanished, and it was really cool. Yeah, it is. It can get very deep and very deeper than I actually ever thought that I would go. I don't fear it. I actually enjoy hanging out with all my energies, whether they're dark energy, light energy, medium energy, or just spirits that are transitioning through that haven't had a complete soul return, meaning they didn't become one before their death. So if I was to say die in an accident tomorrow, I would be understanding of how I would get through my transition period. And transition periods can last up to like a year. I had energies with me for over 8 months that were like gatekeepers, and then another set came in and actually took over for theirs because they did their service and went on. So it's just something that you should be aware of. Like, this is all about bringing you into a oneness with yourself. So making sure that your soul has a chance to find itself, because I think that's what they mean by a twin, is that you're actually separated, right? You get separated from your initial person right here, right? And doing the work to actually get your twin flame, which could be yourself, it could be another person that you have residual energy with from a past life, which I had mine. Current relationship had residual energy from 3 lifetimes. We ended up coming together, and he just looked at me and said, "Can I have a hug too?" And I looked at him and it was like, "Whoa, okay, that was too much." But we started dating, and the both of us have had an amazing experience together. Yeah, so it's not something I would start off right away. Just check out Jason Stevenson's channel on YouTube and kind of look through all his videos. He's got like A to Z, like so many of them, and he's always recording new ones. But I found him to be the most effective because of his vocal that he gives you. He teaches you how to breathe before you go in. He teaches you how to examine your whole body, do a scan on your body before you meditate. He has long ones, he has short ones. It's all to whatever your level of meditation is. I went in straight to the advanced. I shouldn't have. I really wasn't prepared for what I was going to have happen. But I am more eased by it. It took me 3 years to get past a lot of the dark energy, but to also be able to heal myself, right? And to open up my Pandora's box for myself, and to be able to take on what spiritual gifts that I was given by my higher self. And never cut any cords unless you're ready to. Once you cut a cord with someone, it's done. And what I mean by cord cutting is your relationship. if you don't like the energy that's around, just remove yourself. Because those are like cores are like ways. They're almost like a, what's the best way to explain this? Okay, just imagine that um, there was your past lives all standing around this hoop. Okay, those past lives have residual energy that bring you to the center, the core, right? And when you have the core, you know, it's a solid area. But when you have all your past lives, and I've done genealogy, I've done history on myself and my partner, and we had dates that we have currently as our anniversary, as a date as to when we were separated in the last lifetime. Blow your mind. It'll blow your mind. Our anniversary date is a date of this church burning down that we saw, that we were perishing in, and we are so in tune to each other, like we're like big fat kids in the candy store when it comes to doing spiritual work. We're just like, yes, love it, love it, love it. It gets me going. It pumps me up. It's like going to the gym and working out for like an hour, and just getting pumped. We both are getting into it. Sometimes it's like, um, for me and him, he doesn't really do a lot of the spiritual outreach work. He stays and he does his own spiritual work that he's working through right now for his healing. And he comes to me to ask me, what do I think about this? Or how do you think this is affecting me? Or why is this happening this way? And I usually explain it to him, and he'll be like, oh, cool. So I'll go look this up. I'm like, yeah, just check it out. Right? It's the best thing ever, to awaken your spirit and be one with yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin for years. I was always doing more for others than I would even give myself credit for. But today I can say I give my gratitude to the universe, because I have had some really bizarre experiences of talking with my higher self, even in broad daylight, walking around a park. I went and did a reconnection, and it was telling me to go into the park. And it was like I walked into this grove of trees, and I felt very strange, but it felt good, like oddly enough. It felt really good to wander around. And I'm not even kidding you, but I had seen like a centaur, one of those half horse, half man, run zipping around like I was in Narnia or something. But it was bizarre, and I saw that, and there was like markers all the way through to show me like that the universe had people placed um, on this path walk. And I've walked in my park just over here, the one that has three other um, very similar 100%. If you were to put a copy of the map over top, it would match to the map that was underneath. And Bear Creek Park in Richmond, Virginia has the same layout. There's other places where it seems like the map is actually, we're living on layers of items, and it's like a cyclone that we're going in, right? So we're traveling in the cyclone, and I think that so many people get confused when they transition over. And this is my theory. This is not proven theory yet, but so far it's been spot on. Is basically when you transition from here into the spirit realm, things are a little bit different, but they're not that different. But when you get thrown into my lap after you transition over, and you've come from an area that is an overlay of the area that I live in, I end up usually getting those energies coming through. It's bizarre. I can't explain it. It's just the way it happens. But I'll show you the maps, and then it would make more sense to you. There are overlaying map positions, quadrants that um, end up being transition spaces, right? So it's like they can call them portals, they can call them whatever they want. I'll call them transition beacons, right? Because they do get lost. So I assist them, allow them time to adjust here, to understand where they're going, and to kind of adjust even just being in that realm, because it's not a realm that is like living like in our 3D realm. It's very different. It's it's a lot darker for some reason. I don't know why, but I always get a dark, almost like a somber, like cloudy winter day going there. It's a neutral territory. It's where nobody can harm each other. But so when I do it, I actually get them, and my spirit box will will be able to sit down. I would say within the next week. Hopefully this will be done. But be able to sit down with you and show you my guardians and how active my home alone is when I allow my energies and spirits to just kind of have somewhere to hang. They're not being forced to do anything they don't want to do. Because even in our physical being, we don't like to be forced to do anything. We always want to learn at our own level of learning, right? So everybody's level of learning is different. Um, so I get the traumatic passerbys. That's what I call them. They just pass on by. They don't stay for long if they don't have to, but they have a better understanding when they end up leaving here and going towards wherever they're destined to go to, whichever position they're supposed to take after this lifetime. Then they're more accepting to go and make the move to wherever they're being called to next. I do believe that there's different levels of heaven. I still believe in that. Um, because I've experienced basically the first level, myself being asked by the spirit realm to actually go through. I've gone through probably 3 physical deaths on my shaman experience in the last um, probably 2.5 years. I've experienced 3 deaths. Um, Physical death, I don't know, but it hurt like a bitch to come back to my body. Like I was like aching. It hurt. Like I would literally come out of my skin screaming bloody murder because it hurt so bad coming back. I don't know if that was because I actually physically died to have to re-enter a body that wasn't really fully dead to begin with, but it hurt. It really did hurt. My muscles would hurt. My bones would hurt for like days after. So just to kind of give you an outlook of maybe some of the side effects you might experience. If you do have some wild side effects, try doing another meditation to balance and ground yourself again. I always like to do that one outside so that you can bring your energy wherever the energy was sent to, so that you can collect it and have it brought back and you can become pure again, right? 100%. I haven't come across anybody that's really ever got stuck outside the body. Thank God for that. But even my partner's experienced astral projection. He's not a big meditator, but it's more like The Conjuring, the movie The Conjuring with us. He's like the support, and I'm the one that does the medium, the extra work with spirit energy. Not all energies are evil, like they're not. Okay, it's they're required to do a job. They decided to take that position or that job on as a demonic or negative energy is what I like to call them. I don't like to say demons because they can't really manifest unless you allow them to. Um, and it could be in correlation with something that's kind of you haven't felt or shone the light in on your personal suitcase, your life suitcase, where you've packed everything and just thrown it into that bag, that suitcase, and you're on your way. You don't deal with it. So when you end up going through an awakening, you get to be through the ringer, and it does take you back to moments that you never ever would have remembered otherwise. So that's why meditation works well for that. Finding out your past life history, you can access records, and once you have your third eye open, you actually see more of your record and the synchronicity that's pertaining to you as an individual. I've done ones where on a bloodline genealogy, I just saw a black shadow there. That's okay. Uh, where you can base it on your genealogy, and I've gone back not through blood but through family tied um, generic code all the way back to like Caesar and Cleopatra, just because I wanted to know. And the one experience that I believe me and my partner shared at that point was Mark Anthony. Everything was coming up Mark Anthony, Cleopatra, everything was synchronizing around that. So once we ended up pulling that information from the universe and we started dealing with it, we started coming across a lot of different things where we've had past lives together. Like he is an absolute soulmate of mine, like we get along just like 2 peas in the pod. But we still have our differences. We're not 100% like truly together, but we spend a lot of time together. And it feels like you feel lost when the other person's not around. So twin flame, twins, whatever you want to call it, I firmly believe in it. I actually am a walking proof that it can happen. And it's an interesting thing to do your own life past history. There's people out there that will do it for you. I know there's a few people, if you look up past life regression, I learned to do basically everything on my own because that's just my personality. I'd rather do it on my own than have to go at somebody else's pace. Right? So that's why I just give you advice. Just give you the information you need, some cues, some pointers for you to be able to undo your own journey. I think that's the most amazing part, is getting to do it on your own and really have, the understanding of why that went down for you. or how it came for you, or how you have had lifetimes after lifetimes, reincarnation. I even believe in that. Otherwise, I would have went to the light and would have been gone if I wanted to, but I didn't. I ended up channeling and I'm being choked by the energies and spirits saying, "You're not ready to go yet. You can't leave us here," because I work with them so well, and I give them a sanctuary. I think that's why they were trying to draw me down so I wouldn't go. So, just some bizarrities, but I don't mind it. I love it. Um, I don't get a lot of excitement when you're channeling because it takes so much energy out of you when I do it that I don't want to expel any more energy than I have to through the day, because it takes a while for me to recuperate sometimes if the energy is really hard to break through and to get a message from. You can't experience that people will just show up because they're not used to manifesting within the spirit yet. So some of the I guess called the green ones that don't know how to manifest yet. So like I'll be able to manifest when I get over there because I'm learning everything before I get to that stage. But some of the ones that can manifest, it's like a poof, right? They're there, they're gone. So if you ever visit mediums and stuff, sometimes the message just comes in as a woohoo, and then it's gone, right? So we usually try to channel, that information to you as well. But sometimes you get into other energies that are kind of like making that have to sidestep its meaning or its purpose. I try to pull those out right away, so you can get those messages, because there are usually current lost loved ones that have lost their life, or they're transitioned out from this beautiful world. Right? So I try to usually pinpoint those ones first, because they're trying to manifest, and there's obviously an urgent message that needs to come through. So I try to focus my energy on that specific spirit, so it'll have some of my energy to be able to stay around and stick around. So I'll release some energy to the other energy that's showing itself and wants to spread a message. Usually it's the lost loved one, or a family member that I really like to be able to pull those messages out for people, because a lot of them can help somebody not have to mourn as long. They don't recommend, like through my church that I used to be part of, I still am. Don't get me wrong. I think every religion has a right to be heard, and a place for them to, have their practices, whatever you want to call them. But our specific church will not exhume a body until after a year it has laid dormant, and that is to verify that you've transitioned out of that you're no longer a piece of that or connected to that, so that you remain here, right? So that's my understanding, and that's how they've kind of shown it to me. Is never, never incantate a demonic energy. They're very hard to get rid of. I had mine around for months, and every time something wrong would happen, this was from my third eye opening, things looked different. Everything looked gray. Being told to go jump in front of a bus, it'll only take a minute, um, and I'll be standing right next to you. Like getting messages like that. That one, it's the devil or the demonic energies or the dark magic that's coming for you, and you need to be more in tune with understanding that it's trying to harm you, but on a physical level, it can't if you don't allow it to enter in the first place. I had a car fire happen down the street from me 2 years ago. Or no, sorry, last New Year's Eve, the day before New Year's Eve, and I literally saw black smoke, and there was a dark angel that flew like that. Must have been probably 3 stories tall, fly out of the smoke. And you only ever see certain things once, so if you do happen to see them, hey, if you were to tell me about it, I'd probably damn well believe you, because I've experienced so much. So anyways, that's just a bit on a little bit of the beginning stages of my journey and how I started. So, I'll vlog on certain things and give you my experiences that I've had, so you don't feel like you're going to lose your mind going crazy with these kind of bizarre happenings, right? So you never have to feel that you're going crazy, because there's other people out there that probably have experienced it. I can just share my experiences and my knowledge on certain aspects. It took me a long time to get back to where I was with my actual channeling messages, but I started really channeling over a year ago, and I was actually channeling 24/7, and I got tiresome after a while. It got really hard. But actually to do the cards and everything and channel the information, it's just the cards help confirm the information that I receive. I don't actually use them for the actual reading themselves, but I actually can get the confirmation from the message, and it gets confirmed in physical realm by using cards. And that is my outlook on that. Okay, so just so you know, it's basically dealing um, the shaman part of dealing with spirits and energies, and I say a lot of I'm sorry about that. I just noticed that. But yeah, you get more aware of these things. So when I make dream catchers, I do them with good intentions. I will not work on somebody's customized dream catcher with any upset feelings or any ill feelings. Even against if I'm having like a bad day, I'll definitely try to meditate with some more upbeat situations, try to lift my spirit a bit. But that's usually after I've done like a harsh channeling, one of those 911 channels that I do, or the longer 1.5 hour channels. They take a lot of energy and a lot of spirit for me. But I do get to reclaim it at the end of the day. I always ask for it back, and I'm usually pretty good at getting it back. So I'm usually waking up with another EPA, let's go, let's get moving. I gotta get my day started, type thing. So yeah. So I'm just gonna look at the comments here for quickly. Vinici interested. That's so cool. It is. It's a real cool journey. Um, the higher the vibration, the higher the level. Yes. And you can start, you can actually basically do your homework and see which level. You can actually find people that do like quizzes on it. If it feels right for me, like when I pick things to resonate with me, especially when you have so many options on YouTube to pick a certain topic or anything, always let yourself be the guide. If something stands out to you on that page, or that something actually is meant for you, you'll know. Like you'll just like automatic. I do it on autopilot now, but I usually go to the one, say like even when I want to. Not I don't like doing my own readings on myself. I'll do them on my partner or anybody extended for myself, but I don't do them on myself because I don't feel they're going to be as accurate. For the simple fact is I'm very critical on myself. So I actually use this technique for myself, so I'm not so critical, and I still get kicked in the ass half the time with picking whatever video it is that resonates with me. That still manages the universe to give me a kick in the pants. So I would usually just say, like, you have your list of videos or recommended videos. Whatever one seems to draw your attention, stick with it. Just go with it and see what happens. Usually it's pretty good that way. Like for music, picking music-wise for your mood, it usually is what you need to be listening to at the time. I know it's worked for me every time I've gone to pick music. It gives me, recommendations like, oh yeah, I could listen to that. That sounds like a good idea, right? So, what else do we have here? Is there any questions that you guys want to ask, or have I pretty much covered the beginning stage of your awakening or spiritual healing? I'm so glad that I had a spiritual awakening months ago. So many things I was unaware of until I met you. Jewels of knowledge. Well, thank you. And it's an amazing thing to have happen because it's always different. It's not the same mundane 3D living that you're so commonly used to, even though you're on a different level. But you look at things differently. Like the whole perspective is going to be different, and you're always learning. Like I feel like I'm always on a learning curve. Like I don't feel that I've ever stopped learning. It's like when I started unpacking my suitcase, it was like letting it go of all that shit that I brought with me all my life, and it's like making new pathways, left side and right side brain thinking, logic plus the other, and I love it. I won't trade it for nothing. I wouldn't even trade my life for it because I think it's more fun living in the now here with the knowledge, and it's an experience that you will be very grateful you had. It starts to bring your soul back so that when your transition is ready, you don't really have any residual energy, is what I'm believing to be true. That I won't have to leave any residual energy here. That I'll be able to have the perfect, and I'll be okay with it. I will be, if I was, like I said, if I was to have an accident tomorrow, knock on wood, I don't. But if I was, this something happened to me, that I would be comfortable enough in the spirit realm to be able to manage, not have a traumatic experience and carry on some more negative energy when I come into wherever I am transferring to or from, but I won't have to carry that energy with me. I'll be able to smoothly enter into the next phase. Right? So that's what I always look at it as. Your transition, you're going to do one whole. You're not leaving anything behind because you only have your soul to take. Right? Your soul is the only part of you that you get to that moves on. Your spirit, your energy is released from this body, and you get to go on to a next reincarnation if you so choose. If you ended up working through all your karmic debt, karmic relationships or situations that you feel you're connected to or you have a connection to something, it's best to try to meditate on that and try to figure out what that is that you're still holding on to that you need to let go so that your transition out will be as smooth as butter. Right? That's why I look at it. And that's why I'm always continually working and finding different things about myself that I never wanted to look at. I never even thought I would have to look at. Right? So I'm willing to do to wind up this episode. I'm willing to maybe pull some cards on something, or if somebody wants a card pulled, I'll offer it as a wind up for this program or this program. Please stay tuned. No, to be able to pull a card for you and just see what kind of things are going on for 3 minutes. I'll give you a 3-minute quick read if you want one. So the first one to comment will get a 3-minute quick read. Alright? So you guys pick and choose. Maybe, who knows, if we only have a few that want them, then maybe we'll just carry this on for, a few more minutes. Right? Hi. Oh. Hi. 100th monkey. Oh, well, we have two Vinnies in the room. Or is this the same one? I'd like to know. Vinny. Hello, welcome to my channel. Like I said, at the beginning of the channel, when I started the live stream today, as I just want to touch base again, just for people that haven't been in the room or that are coming in late, I am going to be offering a free 30-minute read this week. So if you have your name in the live chat of this program or any other live chats from this week, you're entered into a draw. Come Friday at 3:33, we'll be drawing a live draw for a free 30-minute session with me right here on YouTube. Alright? The other thing is you'll also be automatically drawn into the end of the month draw that is currently taking place to get your customized dream catcher that will be made just for you, or you can choose from the ones that we have. I've got to get back to making a few more today, but I'm making one here. This one here. This is a Jamaican one for a fellow that is from Jamaica. So I'm finishing the feathers today, and it's got a little butterfly at the bottom because they carry out on messages, and they always seem to come back. And my partner's grandfather would always send butterflies, and we started seeing some monarch butterflies here in Canada that I've never ever seen up this way before. So it's definitely getting warmer up here for them to have to migrate this way. I did a report on butterflies, monarch butterflies, when I was younger, right? So, like there's different, I don't usually make any of my dream catchers the same, right? So this is almost like a little globe one, right? And it's not your traditional web, the curved web in it. It's different, so it's an original. I make all mine based on originality, so I can make them either I can make small keychains, large keychains, whichever you like. The other ones I have are ones that you would hang from your that you would hang from a rear view mirror or something. I am going to be doing like different hockey teams in colors because now the NHL is back. I'm going to do ones that are like based on your hockey team, so they will be interchangeable if you end up wanting to order a different one. You'll have the option to be able to take it and just keep the hanger, the chain hanger, and to interlace, I had this word stuck yesterday too, interchangeable dream catchers for different teams and stuff. So I'm going to be starting a red and black and white one for the Chicago Blackhawks. I have different ones planned for that, but definitely. I did a Canucks one last Christmas for a lady of mine, a friend of mine, and she picked that up and she loves it. It's just the newest thing, and it's a definite ornament in her car every day. So if you have a favorite hockey team that you like, maybe what we can do is, in case you win one, that it'll be ready for you and I can ship it out right away too. Alright, so that's going on with in this channel. We're having the weekly draws for a free 30-minute draw, or three free. I can't say that. There's too many E's. A free 30-minute reading weekly draw will be drawn on Fridays at 3:33. Tree. And then we'll have the monthly at the last day of the month, or last day of that current month. We'll have a monthly draw, which you'll be able to choose from the smaller medium-sized dream catcher. This is considered like a medium large, so it's a bit smaller than this one. Would be the large, like the medium one, and it'll be like layers of feathers with, and that would be your basic one. So those ones are feathers to have. Like I did a unicorn one there a few days back for a little girl that I've made one that has a turtle hanging from it. There isn't anything that I won't take on, that I won't try to make it. So just let you know, if there's something or an animal that is very two-dimensional, possibly creating, I would really love to try to challenge myself on that, because there isn't one dream catcher that I haven't been able to fulfill my duties on. I will work on them until they're perfect. I've had dream catchers where I've had to take them apart completely and redesign them. I won't stop until I know that it's perfect for that person that ordered it. So yeah, so that's just a little bit. Maybe we'll be on live later tonight, doing some more channeling. I think we're going to try to channel some past energies, whether it be spirit realm or whatever it may be. We'll chat. We'll try to do some. We'll use one of the spirit boxes that I know that I enjoy using right now until I get my actual PC one back, which is the best one that I've ever had to deal with. That it is accurate as almighty hell, and I'm really missing not having my laptop running. So, I'll have to go out and purchase a new one and find one that's coming in my price range. I'm not going to go and spend $100 or $1,000 on a computer. It's just not me. I'd rather just get one that's just operational, just to even do my spirit box. I don't really use it. I have a Mac, so I don't really need it for anything else but the spirit box. So yeah. Oh, you'd like to have an orca killer whale? I could probably do that. I could probably make something like that for you. Big Bruins fan, even though I'm from Chicago, lol. Go figure, and I just said the Chicago Blackhawks, right? Excuse me. Go figure. Alright. So, big Bruins fan. Are the Bruins fans? That's American, right? Isn't that the wine and blue? Or am I thinking of something else? Or is that the one with the penguin? No, that's the Penguins. See, I don't know my NHL very well. I don't follow it much anymore. But an orca killer whale, I could probably make one out of. Definitely could do something. Or I can make like usually when I have the animals, they usually are the ones that are hanging in the bottom. But I can do it. An orca whale. I could probably do a head. I could probably make it. And sorry, my throat's really dry. I'm just gonna grab something to drink. Right. Okay. You got me. Sorry guys, my throat got dry. I get a really dry throat when I talk. But yeah, so the Boston Bruins, right? Brain dead. Yellow and black. Did you know I actually had a yellow and black one for this girl that she never did pick up, and it was amazing. But yeah, I know I can do a Boston Bruins with something hanging from it, something theme wise for them. I don't know what their emblem is. If it has an animal as a theme. If it does, then I can actually do a double hoop with the actual animal down here, or I can do it in a keychain form, whichever you want. It'd be your selection. So the actual price range for these ones varies from anywhere from like $9 for the smaller ornamental mirror ones, This one would be more like $15 to $16. This one would probably run you about $35, $40 depending on how many colors I use. But if I'm just using black and yellow, it would probably be about 35. And that would include, or you can take a $30 one minus the second ornament. Down at the bottom, you can just have just your basic for 30. So yeah, so that's just the price range. It all depends on what you order. Size-wise, we can go all the way up to like 14 inches, I think it is. It's quite a large one. So that one would take, the large, super large one, it would take me probably about 4 or 5 days to finish. This size one would take me maybe 3 hours to do. So it doesn't take me very long to produce them. But trying to get everything going for the channel for, future shows is a lot of work behind it. So that's what I have to say about that. Boston Bruins, yellow and black, that's just a beat. Okay, see, I haven't seen, they change uniforms so often that it's hard to keep up sometimes as to which team's changing this and which team's changing that. So I just gave up on it. I just waited for the person that wanted to have a team color dream catcher that they can hang in their house that, kind of shows the love for the game, right? Especially me being from Canada, I love the game. I just don't follow it that much anymore. Unless I'm going to be going to a game, I don't really follow it that much. I'm not a real big Vancouver fan. If I had to choose a team, it would be either Detroit or Alberta's Calgary Flames. Right, so that's why I'm from Alberta, so I'm pretty loyal to my home team. What you can do, I usually will just take the order, and then I will invoice you, email you the invoice, then you can make your arrangements to pay either through PayPal or send an email transfer. I am in the process of getting a point of sale purchase machine, a handheld one, so that I can take credit cards over the phone, or you can meet in person if you're close by. But usually when I do the distance ones, I usually pay through PayPal. Get you to pay through PayPal, I'll invoice you through there. And then you have your option as to how to set up an account or whatever. If you have a PayPal account, you can send the payment that way and we can deal with it from there on. Just make sure you send an email address, phone number, mailing address when you do send a request with your order. Because depending on the area where you're living, I would have to make sure that I have everything I need to finish. Because if I am doing other ones, I have to go and always pick up supplies different places. So I just want to make sure that when you order one, that I have everything. Well, I do have the black and yellow. Definitely, I can do a black and yellow one for you if that's what you want to order. But it's up to you. Let me know. You can either email me. I'll leave the email shamanemmy at gmail.com or shamanemmy333@gmail.com. It's easy to pretty remember. It's my channel name. So at gmail.com. So you can just send what your address and everything is, that I can do the shipping later on, or I can just invoice you for that dream catcher prior. I can send you the quote and you can decide if that's something that works for you. We can do it that way as well. So yeah. You forgot. I didn't. Yeah, so I'm pretty much, I kind of keep to myself when I'm, kind of hoping for a team or not. But, Detroit seems to be a good team to go with. I don't know how they're going to pull out this year, though. It's hard to say. But see, I don't watch a lot of it. I have to just watch the highlights because I don't really actually watch TV that much anymore. It's just too influential. And it really brings my energy spirit down, just watching that stuff and experiencing what I have in my journey. It gets too real. It's just too real. Like, I know that they're actors, but it gets real when you have to experience things like that. So, yeah. So, 100th Monkey. We basically just do channels here. On this channel, we do card readings. Pretty much everything goes here. I don't know if I'm going to have to experience some conflict on the weekend. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But we can pull an overall card for this chat. That's what we'll do. We'll do an overall energy for the people that are currently here. I just have to get my adjustment. So we'll do a quick 10-minute general for the room. See what happens with this energy and what happens. I am going out to be getting actual shaman cards, shaman tarot cards. They're a little bit different looking than your traditional tarot, just so that I can get into doing my Murakami tarot. Again, I don't think anybody offers it on YouTube. But it's called Murakami Shaman Tarot. I have to find out if anybody else actually does that. That would be interesting to know. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little talking feather here. I always have candles burning. I always have, because you can actually get messages from the wick or the flame. I like to meditate with a candle, to the point of I will zone right into the candle and become the flame. It's bizarre. And once you get more advanced in your meditations and everything, it'll come easier. So we're just going to smudge the area. We're going to smudge all you guys too. Smudge the area that will have positive outcomes. And whatever messages need to be heard today will be heard. And that's just so that I'll have good thoughts and be blessed with the knowledge and continue my journey. Okay, so when is that wrong? If there's something that somebody wants to kind of focus their energy on for maybe getting an answer, you're more than welcome to start thinking about it now. As we've shown in other videos, I'm able to call exactly what that person's been thinking or something that's been bothering them. So you guys just wipe your little white eraser over your white-black chalkboard that's in your mind and just wipe everything away from them. And then just try to focus on one kind of topic that you kind of wanted answered. And I'd be happy to hopefully find that energy in the cards for one of you. But I definitely know that one of you is going to do that. I know that one of you will actually be able to focus long enough that I can read the cards for you. So I ask that Spirit give us general information right now, and if anybody has any exact questions that they want answered, that we'll be able to channel that information for them. So everything will be we'll end this session on a good vibe for everybody. Alright, thank you, Spirit. I'm going to do one more shuffle. And then we're going to do a 5-card cut. And I always pick them up randomly. I never pick them up in a set order. I think it gives it a little bit more variety. Okay, so we're going to cut the first card. So you guys ready for this? Candles installed who need it in terries. Yeah. Jessica said, I wanted to let you know the first reading you did and ask about my husband work traveling too. So hey girl, congratulations. I'm so happy for you, Jess. That's awesome that I was able to channel that information for you. I'm very blessed that I was here and giving you some input and put the energy out there for you. That you guys are going to have a better situation unfolding for you, just like we talked about. That is awesome. Thumbs up, girl. You get a thumbs up for me, even though I don't know how to give you a thumbs up other than this. So cheers. That's awesome that worked out for you. I'm very, very, very grateful that you got back to me on that, and I'm very proud that it honestly does work when you actually want to ask a question, and I'll channel it. There you go. Not much more need to be said about that now, is there? So yeah, that's really good news. I'm very happy for you. Congrats. I really feel good about it. Okay, nice. Always wonder why candles. I hope I'm not delayed. Stream is a bit freezy for me. Be right back. Okay, yeah. No, I can wait for you to get back, Vinny. Just let me know when you're in the room, because you've been here for most of it. I'd like to be able to have you included in the last 10 minutes of my feed, which is still going over an hour, 10 minutes, but that's okay. We can deal with it. So the cards have already been cut, so you guys get to sit back, think about a question, or think about something you would like to have the universe give you some information on that I can channel to you, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so here we go. All good. Okay, no problem. So we're just going to do the overall energy. We're going to do maybe one card. If we need clarifying cards, then we'll pull them. If we don't, then we won't. Right? I never ask for more than I need. Alright, so there you go. There's the Emperor showing up, and it's right side up. So we have a very strong connection with the Emperor. The Emperor is the one that is protecting of Spirit. As far as he's concerned, um, there's people that are unsure, or that he has a face of, he's kind of trying to read through everything, trying to make sure he's crossing the T and dot the I's. Um, he seems a little pissed right now, I think, because and you didn't hear this from me, but I think he's getting quite upset with the fact of spiritual warfare and everything is being thrown around very loosely. Like he's getting very, he's got his grip on his what do you call these things? His it's not I can't remember. It's not his sword, but he's gripping his scepter. I think is what you call them, a scepter, and he's gripping it. Um, but there's somebody that's holding him back. Like he wants to go out and cause chaos. Like he's losing his mind. Somebody's getting very frustrated with the way the situation is going right now. Um, but isn't allowed to act on it. Okay, don't act on it. If this is you and you're in a frustration, don't act on it because he's being held down by gold cuffs, right? So if you want to be um, channeling the energy of looking at someone or casting an evil eye or being jealous of someone, when you kind of look at them like what the hell, and you just be aware of your actions or your body appearance, like your what do you call those? Come on, give me it. Your body talks in different ways, and it actually stands for probably 90% of the communication that goes on. So if you're feeling like you're getting really annoyed with something, resist. Like don't go into that energy. Resist it as best you can. Even though it might be very hard to, you have to learn to resist the need to go and cause harm. And I think that's where this energy is coming out, like from a lot of artificials that are not doing spirit by any means justice, and he's getting fed up with that. So that could be just an energy, but there is a lot of love on his part. It's almost like a god energy to me. That reminds me like of a god being or somebody higher up that's getting very frustrated with the way things are. Okay, that was in the song. I was hearing like little crickets. That was weird. But he's kind of um, back from a battle that maybe he's going back into battle. I'm not too sure who this might resonate with. It almost looks like women standing with a big long veil on. So maybe that's what is the energy that people have been talking about. I don't know if the veil is really being lifted. I think a lot of people are giving false information that he's getting annoyed with not being having that veil lifted with good intentions because it's kind of behind him. So he's protecting that veil for a lot of people right now because of the veil that they're lifting on the spirit world. That so many people want to enter into without the knowledge to enter into it is disturbing. It's alarming, disturbing, like red flame type disturbances that spirit, I guess, is getting to the point where people are doing the conjuring and the information that is being given on that is not being given with a good intention. So it's annoying the higher sources that conjuring dark magic when we're supposed to be living in a time of revelations, even religiously, people aren't doing the right thing, and they're still battling one against the other, and there's not any closure. I think is what this is showing to me because he has a lot of followers behind him that he will be the one that at the final end of the day, he's the one that makes the decisions, right? He's the almighty power, grace. We're just, we are the ones that he stands behind and protects. And maybe there's going to be a resolution to this that we'll be able to move forward. For my belief system, I don't think, and this is just what I believe. I'm not trying to take away from religion or anything, but I don't believe that there is actually going to be a physical second coming of Jesus. I haven't seen anything in my cards or anything relaying that information to me, and that would be something that you'd be able to relay if it was a fact, right? So I haven't seen any reader, or even listen to any reader that's even brought that topic up. But now that I've mentioned it, you'll see a lot of people will say it now and say, "Oh yeah, blah 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 blah," and you just watch, just see how effective me even speaking can change a whole dynamic very quickly, and that's the part I don't like. But you'll see that maybe this guy has like had enough of the bullshit. It could be on a three-dimensional level that was like more higher altitude reading there for a minute, but more on a grounded level of things. It's probably a lot of people are trying to restrain from going through this red zone. Red zone usually means like arguments or cross contact or crossing paths with each other when you have like a what do you call that? I can't remember when you have a grudge to fix over. Like he's holding the space between the two. He'll stand there as a mentor or a middle person to avoid these two people coming into contact if it's not meant to be. The higher power is the one that decides a lot of what goes on in this earth. So maybe he's had enough. He doesn't feel like helping. And a lot of people need to wake up and just do it on their own instead of relying on him so much. Because he does have lots of work to do. But to be a mediator between two people is not where he wants to be in his position. He's supposed to be out saving and running a cavalry, doing the things that most men would want to be out doing, not worrying about the itty bitty fights that are going on with small minions below him, which would be us. It's very frustrating. It sends a lot of bad energy, not bad energy, but negative feeling, and that's why a lot of people end up just feeling like that, like just argumentative or anything. So maybe that dynamic is slowly changing. Let's hope. But he's like the steel rod in the middle to keep these two from bickering at each other anymore, stopping and learning to live from a more peaceful state of being is what the intention of this card is what I feel. So it's just a general reading. Because the energy around him is kind of like an orange-red fire, almost like maybe a fire sign is going to be experiencing this more than anybody else. Because it does look like red flame, kind of what a flame looks like when it's burning, right? So maybe there's something to do with that. That's just my perception. I'm just doing this for maybe there's somebody in here that might be feeling this energy going on within them. I don't know if anybody is a fire sign. When the job opportunity comes for me, I'm moving, staying with the Gemini. Thank you. Oh, Sky Blue, that's good. I'm so happy. I'm really happy that that's worked out for you. But some people are going to be hot-tempered, I think. Very hot-tempered over the next little while. Not too sure about that. I'm going to pull a clarifying card on this because I want to know if we're asking it to be resolved or if it's going to consume people, like the anger that's all-consuming anger that doesn't go well, doesn't flow very well. So we're going to pull a clarifying card on the Emperor, please. And there's the Chariot without movement. So, you can either stay stagnant. It's white and black. There's not really any color. We create the colored image to make it more pleasable, but when you really look through it, it's really just black and white. There's not really a whole lot of figuring out to do. But he's going to stand firm in his place. He's blocking for a lot of people moving forward for the sake of they're expecting just a free chariot ride. So if you feel that you're deserving of this, then you have to ask the universe to provide clues for you to be able to take that chariot ride. People that feel they're owed it won't get it. If you feel that you have earned it, you'd have a better chance. But sitting there on top of the world is the female version of yourself, which maybe some of you haven't been in touch with, that you're not moving forward in that direction, that the feminine part really needs to start moving and be grateful for what you do get to encounter. But it's being blocked right now because there's energy that is blocking a lot of people. So this could be your blocks, or it could be someone within the partnership of a man and woman relationship, that there's blockages. Like he's being blocked from his little gold wristbands there to his chair. She's in the chariot ready to roll, but maybe he is being the blocker. The male part of you is blocking some of the energy flow for you, um, because we do have the masculine and feminine in both of us, right? We've always carried that with us through our past lifetimes, so we've alternately, and this is my theory of thinking, and it kind of came to me through a vision, was that if you're a female in this existence, that you were a male before, so you have both duality of the spirit, right? It's when they both get to come together and have the marriage of the minds, or marriage left side, right brain, I think that's where it stands, is that she's being blocked because he's being blocked, and it's just not, it's clashing, right? You're just like, ah! We'll do a little puppet show here. All right, so what's going on? Blah, 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 right? So they're blocking each other, so maybe there's some blockages that maybe people need to look at. Unpack a suitcase, get to it, the first one at least, and try to work through that. Try journaling, or send it to me. And if you are done journaling, write it down, put it away for 3 or 4 days, even a week, and then come back to it. But every day, write something, and then when you're writing the new journal entry, go back and just review after you've written that second journal entry. Because what I used to do was I would write, I would put it away, and then I would write again, and then I would evaluate the journal entry prior to that one, right? So then you can kind of see with fresh eyes what you were writing. And I usually do it when I have like music pumped in my ear, like loud beat music going off, and I just speed write, like I just write, whatever my hand wants to write. And I do that to for still today I write, and there's been moments where you end up getting the answer yourself because you can pull it out of your own subconscious to what works for you, right? I'm just a medicine healer. I offer you the medicine for you to be able to take if you wish to take it and make the changes in your life. I do not say that mine's the all be all end all of advice, but I do recommend things that might help bring these two to a point of understanding, right? Between the two of you, like you have the dualship then of both sides. So this is the masculine, feminine sides of your being that need to be recognized for what they are and honored, right? Never be shy for what you're about to share with yourself. And if you like the privacy of doing it by yourself to understand it better, then by all means do it. It's not going to hurt you to get in touch with your feelings, or to be a little standoffish in the feminine side. Maybe she needs to like kind of back up a bit, being feminine, that there's too much going on, that the masculine part is not getting enough recognition on your part, whether it be you being a male and having the emperor show up, that there's a lot being asked of you as an emperor and you're not allowed to do. But you're the only one that can say whether it can happen or not. Like you're the final be all, right? Whereas always have these two on a balance. Always put them side by side. Always keep them on an equal playing field, because they're very important energies that you want to have going good. It's like your yin and your yang, the male, female, left side, right side. Everything has a purpose and a reason, right? So if you look at it more objectively from outside the box, you might end up seeing where you're needing to do a little extra work or whatever. Right? But use caution, right? Use caution when you're trying to work it out. Take your time, right? When you hit that yellow light at the corner, at the intersection, you don't just gas it. You use caution when you're gonna make that final move. So just be very aware that your emotions and things that are gonna maybe manifest as well while you start doing your healing program, it's going to manifest like a matchstick in a dry forest. It's gonna just go, and it may knock you off your feet for a little while. But hey, listen, maybe it's time that you need to just slow down and just focus on some of this stuff. It's not too hard. Take one topic at a time, or one emotion that you have gone through and you've unpacked, and you kind of like, yeah, okay. And then those ones that are very traumatic, focus a little bit more feminine, the more nurturing part of that energy on there as well. That you're able to better deal with it instead of being a rash, bull in a china shop, let's get her done type thing. So take your time. Be reasonable with yourself, right? You don't have to go running a 1,000-mile foot race in like 3 minutes, right? You can have all the time. The universe will give you all the time you need to work through something. If you're working too long on it and can't seem to get anywhere with it, feel free to ask me. I'll be able to help you, or at least give you some recommendations on how to better do it. But yeah, so that's basically how that's going to work. Is you're going to have to deal with both sides of the fence. You can choose to be in the middle of it and work from both sides of the fence, your male and your feminine, or you can merge them together and become one with, understanding, which is a little bit further into the healing session that I found that I had to take on. But yeah, so that was just your basic quick 10-minute read, which probably went longer than 10 minutes, but that's okay. This is Shaman Emmy just saying, take it easy. Don't try to rush anything. Don't let the fire have to burn out of control. Right? Be in control of it. Be in control of everything you're doing in your life, and you should have a pretty good goddamn day. This is Shaman Emmy. I gotta fly, guys, but I'm supposed to be starting a live evening feed. Probably not till in a couple hours. But yeah, this is just kind of your afternoon check in, maybe for some things, and we'll be up and running again. I might be doing my actual 3-minute reads because that's what this video was supposed to be about. So I'll do my 3-minute reads for people. So make sure you like, share, comment. Make sure you tell people about my channel and how much you've enjoyed it. And I appreciate you stopping by, and we'll talk to you all soon. So with that, we're going to pull a card and see. Here we go. Ready? Last message of the day, guys. Oh, Hermit. See? Take it easy. Take it easy on yourself. Be the hermit for a while. Focus your energy on healing. Okay? And sometimes you have to become a hermit to get that healing done. So there you go. Confirmation. Alright? Have a good day. We'll talk to you all soon. Love you. Peace, love, and light. And Shaman Emmy is out of here. See y'all.